Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today I'm really excited to share the deck with you because it's a bit of my own brew and a bit of a junk, but the results seem pretty promising and the deck is amazingly fun. And the games that you will see will highlight some of the cards that you don't normally see, but they seem awesome. And I'm talking mostly about the Cemetery Illuminator. And we actually made use of Undercover Operative card that is really interesting. It isn't played at all, but so I think we made something that usually doesn't work, and I'm really excited with this one. Especially it's Dimir deck, it's control. It has a bit of a flavor to it, so yeah, I think it's really great. On the stats side, we played 6 games, so not a lot, but we had 67% win rate, it's platinum, so take with this with grain of salt, but the deck felt really nice. I was happy with the results, and the games we have lost is like drawing the incorrect part of the deck as usually. So like one of the games was basically me drawing all islands and having Meathook Massacre, and the game was extremely won if I hit the double black. So, you know, when this is the only kind of games you are losing, you are generally feeling quite good about the deck. And let's go into the deck. And we are now in the deck, and if you think that I'm rambling a lot with every introduction, of course you are right, but man, I have so much to tell about this deck that you need to fear. Alright, so let's start. What the deck is about exactly? Of course, it's some kind of control, right? It's a bit snow themed, so we have typical like Graven Lore, Blood on the Snow, but don't make it fool you. It's not a snow deck. The idea behind the deck is completely different. So I was thinking how to make use of the Undercover Operative. And my only idea for this card, because it is decent, it's 4 mana for something that will get additional shield, so the value in the card is built like by default, because there is no limit to what converted mana cost you can copy. So by default you will get a better card than you played before. So I was thinking how to make this work. Obviously you want some creature that is so annoying to the enemy that he has to remove it. And this is how the deck was created. We just took all the irritating cards that have very ongoing value, and we decided to protect them in different ways. So we have Undercover Operative, this puts a shield counter. We have Spell Pierce. This is good for 2 reasons. First of all, it's just a very cheap negate, so early game you can actually use it as a negate for 1 mana. And in the meta of so many planewalkers, like removals, stuff like this, and also enchantments, man, like Spell Pierce on its own is a really good card. But in this deck, it actually serves better purpose, because we have some cards, for example Iymrith, that will have a huge ward. Same with Kairi. This is one of the reasons Kairi is in the deck as well. And when the enemy pays ward, they usually cannot Spell Pierce as well. So this is really good counter spell in the deck. And early game you keep it to protect your small irritating creatures like Trespasser. And don't forget, when enemy targets this, they need to discard a card first, and then you decide whether you counter it. So it's amazing, it can be devastating. If enemy is forced to target it twice, he will just scoop the game because it's such a big card disadvantage. So Cemetery Illuminator, this is the card that you will see in the games, and I was quite blown away. Like, of course it has drawbacks. It's 3 mana for 2/3 that doesn't do anything when it comes into battlefield. But let me tell you, when this card gets going, it's insane, and the fact that it exiles a card from a graveyard, I honestly missed it at start. Like, you don't think that it exiles a card like a Trespasser, you are more thinking in lines like, I can play multiple cards from the top, right? But this actually, every single turn, removes a creature from the graveyard. So this means that you don't need, for example, Hive, because you have enough exile effects in your deck. So, and the fact that this has flying and Trespasser doesn't, means that it's so much easier to attack with this one. And when you can start playing creatures from the top of your deck and instants, because our deck is generally instants and creatures, so you always want to exile one of those. It's just so much value. We also have Sedgemoor Witch, because we are really good at protecting, so the ward can trigger multiple times. We have Magecraft, so whenever we counter something, we get the token. And yeah, we have good synergy, and the 3-2 with Menace and Ward Pay Life is actually aggressive enough that we can smork the enemy. This deck very often just kills the enemy on the spot, because we have quite a lot of creatures, most of them have flying. So yeah, we have like definitely a lot of options. Other choice is Valki. Valki is really good against creature decks that don't really run removal, so of course the best target is something like mono green or angels that don't run removal. And when you can get rid of this Valkyrie and enemy doesn't have a 3-drop, like this is devastating. And also, this is a very good target for the Undercover Operative, because first of all, you get to copy it, so you remove additional cards from the enemy hand, and then the enemy cannot really kill Valki because it has shield counter. So even if he has removal, he needs 2 of them. And the third thing, when you transform Valki into the creature you exiled, this creature will also get the shield. I believe. I'm 99% positive this is how it happens. So you are getting a lot of value if you have like a slower game. And yeah, this is one of the reasons Valki is there. And after I included it, I thought that we really want to cast Tibalt as well, because it's a shame to only be able to cast one of the sides. And this is how Celestus came into the deck. We ran 1. And to be honest, I felt it's okay. Because Tibalt is more of a like late game, why not? And it's not like the main point of the deck, we win in different ways. But it's really sweet to just be able to cast it, and I didn't want to waste mana base for like blue and red or something like this, so I think this is the better choice. Alright, so what we have more? We have Ascendant Spirit. This is very cheap card that you can easily buff into huge threatening angel. So this is exactly in line with the deck. So you can pump counter spells if enemy doesn't do anything. You just at the end step, increase the threat on the board and say, let's go again, until enemy just reacts. And the bigger this is, the harder it is to answer, and the more mana they need to spend to answer it, and then the spell pierce can get them. So the only card that I'm a bit hesitant to include is Glasspool Mimic. I didn't play a lot of games with this, so you might think about it twice. If you don't have the card, maybe first try without, because it's not a snow land and it's tap land, and it only gives blue mana. But we have so many creatures that are worth copying that I thought that if there's a deck to play this, it's probably this one. So I went with this. Remember, you cannot really go for the legendary creatures. It's just shapeshifter, but it doesn't circumvent the legendary rule. So yeah, that's something to remember definitely. But still, we can copy the Cemetery Illuminator, Witch, or Trespassers, or Nighthawk Scavenger. I'm too excited, I need to slow down a bit. But you have so many prime targets for this card that I felt that it's worth giving a try. It's it's a deck where we give a try to a lot of strange cards, and they seem to work surprisingly. Of course, we have classics like Iymrith, because that's insanely good card to finish the game. We have Blood on the Snow, because in the snow version, our annoying creatures are even better when they come into play again. So enemy finally answered this Trespasser for first 3 turns, and in the end it just comes back after he flutes the board, and that's a game-winning move very often, so we did not want to give up on this one. Graven Lore is amazing card draw. As you can see, we are not heavy in the card draw, we are more of a synergy, tempo-based control, let's say. We are still control, but we are just slower. We draw cards differently, by Cemetery Illuminator and things like this. So I felt that the extra value from the Graven Lore is really helpful here over the Memory Deluge, because 7 mana is extremely light, and sometimes we might prefer just a strong mid-game draw. So that was the idea. The deck plays pretty sweet, as I mentioned, so I think you might like it. And the fact that we are trying so many new interesting cards and they seem to work in the deck really nicely, I'm happy with this one. I'm pretty darn sure that something could be optimized. There's always different card choices that you might go for. For example, tend to run Parasitic Grasp. This is the card I really like personally, but you could switch it for March. You can cut one Spell Pierce, maybe play more counter spells, maybe go for more March. Though I think 2 is enough. Even though this card is extremely powerful, this is very often your win condition. So yeah, a lot of options with this deck, but I like this version. I think it went really well, and I recommend for you to try it. I don't think there's a lot of risky crafts, maybe except like Cemetery Illuminator. Yeah, Valki is something that's very present in many decks. Kairi is played, Iymrith, Graven Lore. Graven Lore is an amazing card, we will play it more probably. So yeah, that was my take at the Dimir Undercover Operative deck, and I think it's decent. Tell me what you think, tell me if you had the same impressions as I did after laddering. And as always, if you like this kind of decks, sometimes we'll brew, sometimes we'll take more meta decks, I guess. So if you like this stuff, don't forget to subscribe. This is the main thing to support the channel right now, it really helps. And yeah, let's go into the games because they were pretty dope. So enjoy. Alright, we are going first. Spell Pierce is definitely not the card that we want on the first turn, so we might use the Ice Tunnel to get rid of, you know, mana issues that has been plaguing us recently. Okay, so I will actually go for blue mana and with Valki. Even if it dies, I'm okay with this, because there will be better targets. Disciple enters the battlefield, creature or planeswalker. So it's basically a removal. We don't really have clerics, right? We can cast it first and then make a copy. That would be quite powerful. But this will kill our creature, right? Yeah, so... that's a hard one. Honestly, we unfortunately have to get this one. Also, enemy has Vanishing Verse, so it might not really matter if he decides to just remove the Valki. Sorry for the priority. And he did not play the land that he needed to. That might be really good for us. We don't want to tap out. We have Spell Pierce, so we are pretty happy about the situation. I guess. Sure. So that's a 2/2 flyer for now. And that will cost all the mana, so we can as well like improve our creature a bit. Cause why not? It's bigger, right? And if it's bigger, it's better. Obviously. We could copy the... Like, I guess if we cast Disciple, it's pretty good, right? Then we get rid of this. However, Cemetery Illuminator, well, it doesn't have target, right? That's interesting choice. I think I will attack. And see what's up. I do not believe he will try it. So just a 3 damage. And given we control this card, lifelink has as long as 5 counters, non-token creature you control dies. Like, I mean, it's not the worst, but I want to get rid of this. We sacrifice this one. And now it's awkward. If enemy wants to remove our creature, he needs to play his one. And our has shield, so that's pretty good. He doesn't want really to Graveyard, so he can take this back, which is unfortunate. So it means that we don't really want to block. We have to go double blue with this one. That's very unfortunate mana. But we can get rid of this. We also get creature. We won't be able to play it at the upkeep because it's a creature. And I think we need to go aggressive. I'm not sure if enemy noticed what happened. Oh, he noticed. Now he does. He wanted to get the Tabrax, but I really think that's a huge mistake. He just gave us full value. Like this one shield that we had just gave us full turn ahead. And I think it wasn't worth 3 damage, so that was a huge mistake, in my opinion, from the enemy. He should just Vanishing Verse and then play the 3 mana thing to get rid of the Illuminator, and he would board clear basically. Right now he just wasted full turn just to get rid of this small shield counter, which seems awful idea. But we are stuck on some mana issues, so I guess... And you can see that we actually keep exiling enemy creatures with the Illuminator. You could think that it's not a thing, but it is, apparently. We could go for Memory Deluge, but then we don't really do much, right? Celestus is next, so we know we won't hit a land. I honestly think that is the play. I kinda hate it, but I think it is the play. Blood on the Snow. Blood on the Snow is pretty powerful card here. We go for Blue, because then we can do a lot of stuff. And enemy is at 10 already. Like, he has lifelink, so it's not as scary as it might seem. Aspirant, sure. Let's put a stop on the attack phase, just to make sure that we don't miss those counters. Demon's Disciple. We couldn't march our both creatures. This way, he would be for... What, do you know, like, what is the best part? We can force enemy to exile exactly creature we want. Because we can phase out all the others. And I think that's what we will do. Let's go full control, so I don't need to think ahead. And now, in response... Do we want to save both our creatures? Yeah, let's do it. We go like this. And this, and this are phased out. It means that there's only one creature that can be sacrificed. And yeah, I'm not sure if he's happy about the result. That's pretty hilarious. I do believe it's pretty hilarious. Also when we had... Yeah, he's reading. He is reading. He did not expect. He also doesn't get the counter on the Aspirant. And we go for our Graveyard because we want an instant. And suddenly we can start casting those for free. Seems neat. And honestly, this seems pretty good, right? Yeah, like... I really don't mind this one. Let's exile another Cleric. By the way, enemy has literally no Graveyard this game, even though he plays Graveyard Synergy. We cannot exile with Blood on the Snow. Okay, that's something I did not think of. But we can still kill one of the creatures, so that's good enough. He needs to kill a lot. And with Graven Lore, I think we are enough ahead that we are happy. Man, like, those Illuminators just shining. Like a star. Another Cleric. So we need to kill right now, right? Well, I guess it's a Graveyard, but... Why do it, if we don't have to? What are the attacks? We want to attack with both of them, definitely. I think we play like this. Oh, we can! Okay, okay. I didn't know this one. Okay, so let's think, because I'm not sure if we might kill him somehow. So we can destroy this creature. But then we don't really have much instant damage, right? We don't have... Yeah, we have 4 damage in air, and then we force a trade, and that's it. Yeah, I think it's still the same play then. I don't really want the Aspirant because it will buff the lifelink creature, so this will effectively heal him. Sorry, my friend, for the stop. Like, this is close. This is something we need to think about. Oh, I would really like to play a land. If we had Field of Ruin, or enemy did, then we would just exile the land. So we can go for 4 damage. But we didn't hit the correct mana to hit for more. So we go like this. And they're really great at getting rid of all the enemy graveyard. Okay, which one is this? I have no idea. Oh, that's the one. So it has instant. So I should have exiled here the instant. But that's fine. It's fine. Can we decline? Whenever exile a card from a graveyard. So we have to. Huh. That's good to know. I did not realize, so it might hurt us sometimes. There's no other play, so at least we might just go for the land, right? We will get the tap land. Like there is a chance for March, I guess, so why bother? Scavenger. Scavenger is pretty weak here. Because we really want to exile his graveyard as much as possible. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And I think that is the winning play. Man, Cemetery Illuminators, like the stars of the game. Not only they exiled every freaking way, like everything. Like, if he does it, he still dies, right? But he has Vanishing Verse, I guess. So let's do the thing and force him to play differently. Man, March. March is just amazing here in the deck. I would possibly exile another card if I had it. We cannot Blood on the Snow, so that's a downside. But we will see. He can remove one of the creatures, but he needs to make a blocker with lifelink or he dies next turn. Like we knew about this one, he can remove one more. But yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. He can answer part of the threat, but not everything. And that's why we did it. Man, like this game was epic. Like the Cemetery Illuminator is just showing a huge power. Alright, going first. We just need a correct mana. On the worst case, we have double Spell Pierce. Hopefully that makes a difference. And for this reason, of course, we start with an island. If we can get to 3 mana, and then Spell Pierce whatever comes, then we can start playing a lot of cards for free. Like, it's not the worst. I guess it's Jewelry and card for card, but we definitely need to start hitting lands. Like, so far, not perfect. Alright, so that's one of those games. That's one of those games. And, like, the Spell Pierce is really good here. One of those games we actually need to start discarding cards. Can you freaking believe? Oh my god. I hate it so much already. I think it's a Meathook Massacre. We have quite a lot of those and there's no pressure, so... Also, being so behind with mana, we probably cannot cast it realistically. Enemy is thinking about Sorin right now, I would expect. So they think, do I pay 1 for Jewelry? But they definitely do not expect the Spell Pierce. And finally, we have Celestus. And in this deck, Celestus is amazing because it's basically a negate. Now he will cast Sorin. Okay, interesting, sure. Like, this is target for Blood on the Snow. That's interesting, so I guess he played around stuff. We already have 5 mana, by the way, which is pretty insane. We cannot exile cards because of this crazy card. And we do not really want to flip. But honestly, we have to. So we will take additional damage. There's no creatures on the graveyard, so we will just take 1 additional damage. And we get to loot, so it's not the worst. Let's make sure that we don't, you know, discard the card. Man, I want all of them. There's not a single card that I want to discard right now. I mean, seriously, there's not a single card. I want to cast Graven Lore at the end step. We need the land. I think it has to be Spell Pierce, which is, by the way, amazing card in the matchup. And showing enemy that we play Spell Pierce is devastating. Right now he will know exactly how to play around stuff. So I kinda hate it. But we just have too good of a card in our hand, so what can we do? We are just suffering from success. By the way, enemy has Jace, so that's already some respect points earned. We definitely go for the Graven Lore. Scry 3 is pretty good already. We will go quite low with the cards. Okay, so we play one land. To be honest, I don't want this one. Hole. Frankly, I'm not sure if that will be relevant. I guess we can take one. And the Illuminator is quite powerful, so we'll take it. The alternate plan would be discarding this and getting it back with Blood on the Snow, but I'm not sure how good of a strategy that would be. That's a snow instant. So, shall we play it? Of course we shall. It will die. Enemy is open mana with mono black, so the chances that this doesn't die are extremely slim. But it means that the next one might live. So, you know, we need to get there somehow. And we have card for exile, so, you know, this is the turn to do it. This is not a legendary, so we could cast another one if we really wanted. We know exactly from what the card on the top is, which is also pretty sweet. It helps us know whether we hit the land or not. Sure. So enemy wants to bait attack, but we are too good of a gamer to do it. That's definitely not what you want to do. And by the way, Kairi and Spell Pierce, mwah, perfect combo. We could counter it. We could counter it. Because we can Spell Pierce, which is mana efficient, and then we can also this. But honestly, I think it's okay. Like, enemy needed to tap really hard for this one. And the big play will be Kairi. And I'm not sure if he can do the thing, you know? And we definitely go for this mana in case he can get rid of the artifact. Let's go for blue. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our big hitter. Our dragon bigger than a wolf. This will get exiled, but enemy needs to attack to get it. So that's a thing. Man, showing the Spell Pierce is just so horrible. Like, he would definitely get countered with something with this, but you know, look how much mana he left. That's exactly Spell Pierce mana, because we have shown that we play this card. And this is really rare card to play overall, so they won't play around it unless you show them. But our hand was just too great. What can we do? Aww, so cute. Oh, it feels warm in my heart. It just feels so perfect. And he left even one mana. If he plays land right now... Okay, so he actually didn't have the land here. Well, the enemy is in trouble. And we can actually take whatever we want. I think the play is to pressure him. And I think we go with Field of Ruin. And probably this one. Let's go for blue. I mean, Field of Ruin is not needed this turn. Yeah, I think that's the mana. So, I think instant, right? We have also quite a few creatures, but yeah, perfect. Oh yes, it's all coming together. Mr. Burns is just like inside me right now in those moments. So even though he plays the Hive, as you can see, it's always stopped because we are at this phase of the game, so you don't need Field of Ruin at instant speed basically. This is powerful card, but it's not as powerful that we really need to react to it. Funny thing, we could actually go for the March, which is a bit hilarious. Maybe I should just phase out his creature. Maybe that was the play. Maybe that was the play. So we can prevent 4 damage. But probably it will be better later, right? And we might hit another card. Like, I don't think he can kill us, not with counter spells. And we definitely can kill them, can kill him quite quickly with Kairi. Like, it's 8 damage a turn. In 2 turns, he's dead. Okay, the only point was using Field of Ruin at the end step. I didn't think about this one. Because if we don't use mana, this can actually be okay. Meathook Massacre. That's a really interesting card. This will be a tapland, so we can play as well like this. And I mean... we probably just attack. There is quite a big chance. Oh! If he had enchantment, we would be able to cast it. I forgot about this one. Let's exile the best card he has. So actually we can march his creature, and if he activates the hive to try to kill us, it's even better. Like, theoretically he has Lethal with the Bankbuster and the Gluton, but if he goes for this play, he dies. And he can do it even with Field of... no, he cannot, because we answer before it's a creature. Oh, and he knows that he's in trouble. I do like this player. I do like this player. We don't need to use Field of Ruin. Enemy knows exactly what we will do, so it's just 2 mana to counter his 4 mana, so if he does it, we are ahead. So he knows that he cannot do it if he's a good player. We still have a counter spell, we still have March. He needs to answer our crazy creatures. Blood on the Snow. My friend, do you really think we are so easy to clean up? Enemy has only 3 mana, so we can tap Field of Ruin. But you know what, we have so much mana, we probably don't need to do it. Nice. It's all coming together. And I think the scoop is incoming. And especially, don't forget, we still have Syncopate, so we can counter whatever we want. Even 1 mana play can be countered still. So I don't think there's anything really. He might try to kill the Cemetery Illuminator, but then we Meathook Massacre our own Kairi for the last damage. And that was it. He got completely wasted, and this is exactly as the deck was intended to work, so I am proud. Alright, this seems like a really decent hand. The only problem is that we won't be able to use Snowlands on curve unless we waste one of the draws. We definitely keep it, it's what we want, but it won't be like perfectly on curve. And we will make this... oh man, that maybe that wasn't the best choice, but we'll see. Like, I should probably think more about it right now, because we have all the information, and we have such a good 3-drops. I mean, we have such a good 3-drops, but if we have this, it means we can do it right now, right? Yeah. Let's do it before he has some answer. Like, that's a good start. That's a really good start, and the fact that we can play untapped land later is pretty good. Trasarasasa. Okay, sure. Man, we are top decking like crazy. Like, I'm so tempted to level it up, but probably that's not the correct call. But enemy cannot block it. If he does, I'm so happy. Yep. So we could also exile a card, but it's probably pretty bad play. So, enemy has nothing, we have 2-3, and we are on the run. our Undercover Operative will be a bit delayed. Oh, that's interesting. He did not do anything. It can be Valorous stance. It can be a Valorous stance, and in that case, Trespasser is just better. I'm so freaking tempted to go all in with the Spirit, but I do not think that's a... Man, that's no priority. Yeah, he has nothing. And if he had Valorous stance, he could still target the creature. Oh, but we don't have enough Snowlands. Whatever. Everything calculated, that's exactly how we wanted to play it. See? Like, we were just bluffing all this time. We were bluffing so well, I even misdirected myself. That's some mythic level skill. Yeah. Yeah, good content. Alright? And finally, our Undercover Operative will be a thing. It's a copy of creature on the battlefield. Man, this is insane. We actually will draw cards with Tusky. Oh, can you freaking believe this? I'm so happy right now. Man, I think this card has potential. Yes, please, some new cards. Thank you. Like, this is also indestructible and always attacking, so we will block with our Tusky. And he cannot do anything about it. And from the next turn onwards, like, he cannot block with this one, so it will be harder for him. And we can save one creature for blocks, that's not a problem. Like, he attacks because he has to. Of course. And honestly, it's the witch, right? Or actually, we have only 2 Snowlands. That's unfortunate. That's not a human. Which is unfortunate as well. Because we really want to attack with something. And we really want to not give him the trade. I think we have to kill the thingy. Man, I wish it was a human, but it's not. Still, even with Cliff, I think that's the best deal. Like, the amount of value that we will get is insane. So we attack like this and like this. I think we save one for the block. And yeah, let's exile. Because right now enemy cannot remove it because we have Negate in the hand. So, like, he doesn't do anything and he cannot change the board very easily. And we are just drawing cards. Man, like, Undercover Operative, like, winning the game for us. On its freaking own. And the land drop is really sweet here, especially with Hall of the Stone Giants. And next turn we can level up the Spirit. Sure, you get some life, but my friend, where's the value? And he needs to attack with Tusky every single turn. Okay, that's the first card that actually does matter. So we need to be careful about this one. We can make a lot of tokens though, so I'm not extremely scared, I'm just scared. You know, just a little bit. Go, you have to. Huh. Okay, I thought he will attack with something more, which would be a mistake. 3 snow mana, so next turn. It's a bit unfortunate we whiffed on the Snowlands, because we basically have mostly Snowlands, just for this reason exactly. Like, we could start attacking with the Horde, I guess. Is this even a good idea? Like, we threaten the Lethal, but he just blocks Voice of the Blessed with the Spirit. We pay for the Horde, so we cannot activate the Spirit. So this kills this blocks this for free, and this is Charm Block. Or even not. Oh, no, this Charm blocks the Horde. So we draw 1 card, that's not really exactly relevant. I think we go for the Witch and try to counter whatever he plays. I'm not sure how relevant this is, but we can cycle land, and honestly that might be good enough. So we attack like this, and probably with the Trespasser, right? He doesn't have clean blocks. Yeah, this is fine. We don't really have anything that we want to exile, so let's not. Let's maybe not. If he sacrifices something for the Trespasser, that's really good. If not, we get free damage and free card. That's insane. This is the best card, I think. This will win us the game next turn if Voice of the Blessed won't be huge. And he might. And this will make Celestus really important here as well. Negate might be a bit of a dead draw in this matchup, because this seems to be only creature deck, which they are really rare, but they do happen. We block, but this is just 5/5. So let's see, we can go even higher, right? If we get untapped land, we can Meathook for quite a lot. So let's count. We have 3/7, so we can exactly sweep everything in the board. What is this? At the beginning of your end, step create for each one. Yeah, you put counter. You make creatures. Cool. Man, I would really like to draw some cards. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. We might get at least one hit, and that's extra card is better than whatever we can do. The only thing I'm a bit scared is just this is pretty obvious what we might have, and I'm scared that the enemy will know about it. If enemy will block with the voice, something with 3 attack, we might go for a Meathook for 4 only. It won't really save anything, I think. Yeah, Spirit will be at max 4/4. So that's unfortunate, unless something hits. Yeah, so we lost a bit of damage, I guess. Not so sure about this idea anymore. And we need to Meathook. No, it was worth it. We got a card. And getting one additional... He's smart. He knows that it might be Meathook. But he also should know that it won't matter. So, we clear everything. And the board is reset. Celestus will be extremely important. By the way, we are at 32. I don't know how, but we are. March, I guess, into Parasitic Grasp, into Trespasser, into Meathook. And Celestus will help as well. A wild Vorinclex approaches. Yeah, cause why not? Why not? Why the freaking hell not? Alright, this is definitely this. I think we go into night mode and we activate the Hall, because this way we can attack, cycle 1 card and threaten enemy to not attack. Like Jwari, we have Negate. We won't be able to double counter anything this turn, so Jwari actually is a hard counter spell in few scenarios. Enemy has only 3 cards, there's high chance he doesn't have a land together with the play. Whenever you gain life, put a counter. He doesn't seem to have instant spells that do anything, right? So I'm not extremely scared. We only get 1 chance to counter something. Okay, sure. He's playing really smart. But he will double spell, so it means that we switch the day-night cycle and we can cycle either Jwari or Negate. And now he cannot be aggressive because we are at 20-7 and he's at 4. We take action. Graven Lore is pretty good. That's a Snowland. So if we attack, he needs to either sacrifice 1 for free. Yeah, I think it's okay. Man, I still don't know how many non-land cards he has, but I still think we need to pressure him. He might get Toski, right? I did not want to do it. Oh my god. This is so triggering. But he's at 3 already. And we did not cast a spell, which is pretty good. Like, the day-night cycle will really help you. I do not think land is the way. Like, it's not wasted, not with Graven Lore. But I think we should draw it at some point. Oh, and I forgot he didn't level it up. I actually thought he can go to level 3, but he cannot. Alright, so I'm pretty happy about the outcome, not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure we just won this. So he can get like Vorinclex, but he cannot kill us and he cannot block our flyers, so what's the play, my friend? We don't need this one, it's way too late. And we need something that kills the enemy. Yeah, so just make Vorinclex, I guess. It will get him some life, but like we attack for so much. And with Meathook Massacre we can deal this chunks of damage that we are lacking at the end, even ourselves, so that's an extra power. Cannot you take Vorinclex? Target creature card. Why would you not take the 6-drop? What? Like what? Innkeeper? Did he forget about the part when he gains life? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I think we would still win. So this is 7 damage and we probably can draw into something that kills them. So probably around 9 damage. He would heal 5 more. So he would get 1 more turn, I think.